Hello friends, this is Melanie here on the 20th of February, and it is the day of the Pisces new moon in most of the world except here on the west coast and even further west. The new moon already happened last night at 11:06 p.m. on the first degree, first day cusp of Aquarius Pisces, first degree of Pisces, and Saturn lagging back there, end of Aquarius. Saturn still hanging out in Aquarius until its days are numbered until the 7th of March. So, have you noticed last week when the Sun passed Saturn? That was quite a significant phase of the month and of the year, even. That's once a year Saturn passes once a year the Sun passes Saturn in the zodiac. And that happened these years in Aquarius. Last week it was the 16th of February. So the light, the life force, creativity, solar energy, the divine is stronger than dark forces of separation and doom and fear and control, which Saturn represents. But Saturn also had a lot to teach us in the last 3 years in Aquarius. And with Aquarius, it's all about humanity. So this would be a wonderful time to review the phase, the last 3 years. What did you learn about humanity? What did you learn about your place in the system, in society, in all kinds of organizations and systems that are ruled by Aquarius? In other words, also technology. What's the role and maybe the dominance of technology that has kicked in already? Saturn teaches us that less is more. Could you say no? Or were you pulled into all these worlds and systems? Anyway, last week, Sun passing Saturn just before the new moon, which was awesome to have a new moon beyond or post Saturn. And so now in Pisces, it's all about connection, coherence, synergy. I had this morning a client who said she will record a song and do something with a band, which is very Aquarius Pisces actually. So Aquarius is when people come together, and in Pisces there is a certain synergy, an energy field, a vibration, and that can be literally music is and dance can be created together. So together we can raise vibrations. That's a big theme around Pisces. Even what seems subtle and intangible, immeasurable, is actually vibrationally super important, and to have faith in that is the whole theme with Pisces. Also having faith and surrendering to the impermanence of it all. So Pisces is all about fluidity. Everything is constantly in flux. Nothing sticks. Nothing needs to be permanent. Everything comes and goes as it happens in life, in the web of life. What else is on? So, yes, Venus also entered Aries last night, just 50 minutes after the Pisces new moon. That's also quite a lovely shift into more dynamic and forward and authentic way of showing up and attracting from there. It's freshness. It's giving life, giving love a chance, and stepping out. Be brave, courageous, or simply present with who you are, being authentic and attracting from that place. Venus will be in Aries until the 16th of March. Now, this week seems to be a bit more of a breather, and we can totally use that as, yeah, regeneration, even just after the new moon, right? It's the lowest energy of the year. Today is also rainy, stormy. It's such a cozy indoor weather. You might want to take naps if you can on this BC Family Day. Monday. To be honest, I've always felt this family day notion once it was introduced. It's a bit awkward to declare one day as a family day. It's a little bit like Mother's Day. So what's the point here? Isn't Family Day always when you have a family or in relation to your family, or same with Mother's Day? Why does it have to be a specific day that's declared for that? And now everybody has to do something with family, is being sort of reminded of, yeah, so today is family day. Honestly, I find that pretty awkward. Anyway, so, and also on the note of family, and Pisces new moon, we are all family. We are all connected, especially when we're in resonance and with each other. We're naturally, energetically family. And yes, also the family bonds are important and not to be dismissed and broken, but they don't have to be declared on one day per year, right? So, what else is going on this week? Now, February 20th, starting today until 22nd, next 2 days, Mercury in Aquarius will make a few aspects. And first in sextile with Chiron in Aries, then in square with Uranus in Taurus, and then in air trine with Mars in Gemini. And Mercury in Aquarius is actually really well positioned and likes to be a witness and observe the situation in a more detached way, maybe like a scientist or like somebody who is like not so much into drama, but more into watching the show and seeing the patterns of system, what are going on in the system, right? And understanding the system, understanding how things operate, really helps. With that sextile in with Chiron in Aries, it really helps to also see things in a fresh way and a new approach. Maybe what used to be sort of you took for granted or you were just unconscious of. Aries is waking us up, right? And Chiron says the medicine has to do with waking up and also with showing up with our medicine, with our authentic self in the moment and as we are. And Aquarius really helps with that, right? So then it also Mercury will also be in square with Uranus in Taurus. Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius, and Uranus is in Taurus since 2019, started a little bit 2018 until 2026. So we're right in the middle of the 7-year period. And now Uranus in Taurus, so many disruptions to biology, to nature, to habits, to comfort, to food, to economy, to so many natural processes, right? Which is Taurus. And so that whole reliability and stability that Taurus represents is really shaken up, and sometimes for better, sometimes for worse. And I guess you know what I'm referring to in your own life and in society. So Mercury making a square here from Aquarius to Uranus in Taurus can again help to see things in a systemic way. Also in terms of where is this going, what's the trend here for the future, and what can we do together is always the question with Aquarius. People need to come together in teams, in groups, in coherence with each other, right? To create what we want to see rather than being exposed to and subject to what we don't want. Now, Mercury will also be in trine, in air trine from Aquarius to Mars in Gemini. And that's awesome for sharing, for discussing, for communication, for learning from each other, from also overcoming actually all these polarizations. So Gemini can show up with the polarized world, but the notion would be to alchemize polarities. What brings these different talking points and different positions actually together, which will be also a theme with Pisces, of course, right? When the Sun will square Mars in Gemini, when the Sun in Pisces will square Mars in Gemini. That should be more like mid-month or towards, mid-March, mid-March, I'm saying. Yeah, more unity beyond the division. There will be actually the Sun and Neptune come together on the 15th of March and around the same time in square with Mars in Gemini. So, and share, be free, says be free, says Uranus in Taurus. How can you embody freedom through also having understanding and seeing things, seeing through things? Aquarius is a lot about transparency. Then we have from February 23rd to 28th a phase which I call a just lunar phase, where the only aspects that we're having on these 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 6 days, only aspects from the moon. No aspects from planets nor from the sun. And so that'll be really interesting because it can be all about emotional responses to things, but it can be also more of a resting time, a breather, a phase where we can integrate emotionally what's been going on. And you can always find detailed daily weather on my email Astro News that I send out for the new moon and full moon. I just sent it out on the weekend for the new moon. You can sign up via email. Or you can find that also on my Facebook page where I post daily weather. Then lastly, just to honor the moon goddess, the moon is now in Pisces, freshly new, and will be in Aries, Taurus, and Gemini in this week. When will the moon go into Aries? That's always very special, opening a whole new cycle, and this time also the so-called young moon, the first sliver of the moon, which in fact is also given the Shivaratri that we just had, the night building up to the Pisces new moon. That night before that new moon, that dark night, was the Shivaratri night in Hindu tradition. Already said a few things about that, and you can find also a special article on my blog for that. And now, given the Shivaratri, the first sliver of the moon is also known to be the Shiva moon. So this is the moon of re-emergence, right? Out of the dark. Also, Shiva energy is a bit like Pluto, takes us through the darkness again to regeneration and renewal. And that renewal with even the moon in its first sign of the zodiac, Aries, is very renewing. And that's going to happen on, what is the moon entering Aries? That's on tomorrow, the 21st, at 9:14 p.m. Pacific, so that's just after midnight Eastern. And then the moon in Aries for all of Wednesday and Thursday until again close to midnight. So that's a wonderful phase for anything that you actually want to start. You might not feel with this Pisces new moon yet so much like initiating things, getting things going. It's more it's still more like a conception energy. I always call the new moon also conception because it's sun and moon coming together, not necessarily a start. And especially with Pisces, it's basically in something is in the making, something is about to emerge. And the Aries energy is when the emergence, in this case also with a sliver of the moon. Hopefully we finally see her again and have a clear night. It's been gray a lot lately, very watery, and we could use some more bright and sunny days and clear nights, I would say. So Aries moon, something new that you'd like to initiate, especially in the area of your chart relating to areas in your life. Area in your chart would be mostly the house where the cusp of Pisces Aries is in this case. I should also say starting with the house where Aquarius Pisces is, because that's where the new moon actually happened. But that whole region of Pisces into Aries is really prone to a renewal here. Even more so, we'll see with the actual spring equinox new moon. The next new moon will be really on the day of the spring equinox, on the 21st of March at barely 1 degree Aries. So this can be a starting point, and it can be also a preparation for the next big one, the next new moon on the spring equinox. So we will see much more going on in March, as you probably already found on my website, Facebook page, or others. March is the most intensely activated month astrologically of the year. So next week, with the Astro News weather, I want to also talk about March in general, and there shall be also a special video for Saturn entering Pisces, which is the first of the March activations, and more to come. I wish you well. Have a beautiful evening and week, and yeah, be chill, be free, and be new. Take care. Bye.